told people I was coming to interview you, I got a little mixed reviews. Some liked it, some didn't like it. Why do you think you're a controversial figure?
Am I controversial? You
Well,
just revealed something to me. No,
yeah, I mean, there were some mixed reviews.
really. You know, that's good news, actually, because if I don't make people uncomfortable and force them to think about their belief system, why they're in the economic plight they're in, and challenge them to their better angels, then I don't do my job every day. It's my intention when I wake up every morning is to have somebody upset with me, because eventually they will become upset with themselves and do something about it.
Upset in a sense to change things for the better or just anger?
Oh no, never anger, never that. You know, nothing really happens or becomes transformative unless someone becomes emotionally upset, emotionally charged. You know, it's just like some woman continues to have babies and babies out of wedlock. And because they're getting a government check and they seem to be getting a free ride because they're being taken care of, don't realize the toll that it's having on the kids and the entire environment until someone says, you know what, you got to stop this. You got to really think about what you're doing, your behavior, your choices. While you may think there's a benefit, you need to look at the bigger picture. And sometimes when you tell people the truth, they just don't want to hear it. Until something happens, what you have to do is plant, and something will come along and water it. And when the watering process commences, people say, oh, wow, I get it. Because it's easy to be angry at me or someone else and not looking at yourself, seeing that you have this crippling behavior. But once you begin to see yourself in that mirror and what you're doing, not only to yourself but to your family, then you make that change.
How did you get here? You come from a very humble beginnings. Let's talk about that.
Well, thank you. I have, and continue to have wonderful parents. My father's deceased. There were 10 of us, 8 boys and 2 girls. I'm blessed because every morning at 3:45 a.m. I'm on the phone with my brother Kent, my brother Bruce, and my mother. This has been going on for 15 or 20 years. Every morning we speak, and we speak from 3:40 a.m. until exactly 5:47 a.m. until my mother has to rush off the phone to get my brother ready for who's mentally challenged, getting ready for the disability school. And I'm never in the dark about what goes on with my brothers, my sisters, and my family. And we talk and we talk. And, you know, it's such a blessing for me. It's such a security blanket because I know I have friends. They know about me. There's nothing that is that you can't talk about. And that's the richness of realizing what you have in your family. You know, some family members would say, oh, I haven't talked to my mom and mom. Oh, I haven't talked to my brother and sister in 2 weeks. Impossible for me. If I don't hear, at least throughout the day, all of their voices, I can feel the emptiness. I can feel the unfulfilledness. And so I have to talk to them. And that's what feeds me, not people that I met outside of my family, but the people I grew up with. The people that love me for me. I never forget when I went through No Child Left Behind. You remember that too, as well as the rest of America. What I had that fortified me was I had my family every day. And you know, it was never a subject matter. Oh, Armstrong, we saw something on you in the paper today. It was kind of funny, by the way. And we laugh about it. And Mama would say, you know, you use bad judgment. You make mistakes. So, but at some point, you got to put that behind you and build again. Because as long as the Lord forgives you, and when the Lord forgives you, you got to show him that you're going to do better. That you can't be the same old Armstrong. So the same way I dish it out to people, I hold myself to a higher standard.
No child left behind. Did you feel like you were a scapegoat for that?
I did something that was wrong. Let's be first and foremost. No matter what other stories come out today about people who have committed something similar to me, I did something wrong. It was very naive. It was thoughtless. We disclosed it with the television. But I did write about it in my column and did not disclose it to the Tribune Syndicate and others. That was wrong. And my parents have taught me when you do wrong, you accept responsibility. I paid a huge price. I spent probably $500,000 in legal fees. lost 80% of my business, but I never lost my family. I never lost my character because I know it's human to make a mistake. It's human to use bad judgment. And while others would have loved to see me in that orange jumpsuit going off to prison, I was building again. And, but you learn your best lessons in life when you're in the valley. And I got to tell you, I was in that valley for 4 years, but I had my family. And we talked every day, and every day got a little better and a little better. And I'll never forget this. I've never told this story before. I'll never forget. I was working so hard. But I was working so hard. And I'll never forget, my accountant came to me one day, and he said, hey, man, you don't have to work as hard. The company is back. It's doing better than before. I said, what? And this was like 4 years into No Child Left. He said, it's been going this way for 6 months. I never knew that God's favor had returned. I never realized I'd come back to a harvest season. When he said that to me, I just said, God, I got to make sure that I have no more No Child Left Behind moments. Because I don't need to go to the valley to learn those lessons. I can look at others and learn. There are some lessons I don't need to learn for myself. I don't need to have those experiences to learn them because it's obvious what the outcome and the price is. But because I was in that valley, I realized I did not want to go back to that valley. And how do you not go back to that valley? You got to learn from your bad judgment. You got to learn from your mistakes, and you got to be a better Armstrong Williams.